All right, welcome back, everyone. So what we're going to do now is just look very briefly, because most of the work we already just did on the computer, but I just want to show you what some of the most common abacus that you can buy, abaci, I guess is also the plural, and also abacuses, just by the way. Just want to show you what we can do with the ones that are available. So you'll notice that these there's two sets of 5, right? So I've got the blue, yellow, green, white, and red, and then it repeats. And so these are, if you're going to be able to find something in the stores right now, if you're going to go to Toys R Us, for example, this is typically the kind they have, although I did find one that had unique colors in each row, but there's only 8 rows on there. Again, the number of rows may be insignificant at this point because it depends on the number that you're working on with the students. What is it they want you want them to model? Are you doing addition with them? Those types of things. So that's why I don't want to spend a ton of time on this, because it's exactly the same as what we just did on the one that was virtual with the 10 unique colors, 10 unique rows. But this one has some advantages. This one is an older model. It has, again, the 10 frames on it. In fact, it's 35 years old. Bought it for our son when he was 1 year old, and he's 36 now. So I just labeled the first 5 rows so that you can see the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and 10,000s. And right now, for the majority of our students, if they're maneuvering those numbers, if they're doing addition within those numbers, they're already moving from grade 1 all the way up to grade 6. So these are, and could certainly be used for junior high students who are really struggling with adding or place value understanding, any of those pieces. So just a reminder then, the lowest level, I've turned it upside down just because it has a wide base on the top here. And if I turn it up, then it gets distorted with the camera. So I've turned it upside down, just labeled it. Doesn't really matter what color is what. So in this case, these are my 1s, my 10s, my 100s, my 1000s, and my 10,000s. So if I was doing 2 numbers, I could do this just like we did on the Rec and Rec that had 100, where we created multiple rows of numbers. When we had 2-digit numbers, we used multiple rows of the rungs of the red and white, and then we moved them together. Now, one of the things that you'll see right now, I've lined mine back up the same as a Rec and Rec, and I have found over the years that when I do use this, the students are in tune with pushing from right to left with the Rec and Rec. The abacus tends to go from right or left to right. So as we read, so whenever you see resources based on that, they'll have all the beads over to the left and you're pushing to the right. But there's no significant difference. You're not changing the values. You're not really getting anything that's new. So I find that since they're already into what is home base, they know what that is. I just slide them over. If you prefer to do it the other way, feel free for sure to do that. So off to the side, I have the same questions that we had from before that we were doing on the computer. So we're just going to do a couple of them. Like, I'm not going to do all of them, but just so that you get the sense of it, because it'll work exactly the same, only now they can physically work on it. So let's do the 154 and 231. So 100, 10s, 1s, 100s. So the greens are my hundreds. So I'm going to do 150. I don't have the benefit of having those, but now I get to see if I can quickly subitize, and 4. So there's my 154. And to that, I want to add 231. So I'm going to go back up to my greens up here, 231. Now, could I have done it down here? Absolutely, I could have. And sometimes students will already see that they're not going to have to regroup anything, and they'll just do it all together in one. And actually, it's even better if they can. I mean, it's just kind of like the one that we did with the on the computer. But let's just do it the same, following the routine that we've had with the abacus. So one number's up here, one number's down here. And I usually use the bottom one for the answer. So any trades I make will always be so that I'm getting the answer down here. So I have a blue up here. Do I have a blue that I can move and trade? Yeah, so I just switch them over. I have 3 yellows that I need to have in my answer, so I'll just switch them over. And I need 200s. I do have those, and I'll just switch them over. So my final answer is 1, 2, 300s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, not 8, sorry. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 385 is my answer. So they can use this to create two sets of numbers. And sometimes when the numbers are in the thousands, it is easier for them to do them as two separate numbers first. So let's just randomly pick another one. Let's do 528. So 528 and 246. So 240 and 6. Okay, so now again, I'm going to go back and I'm going to say I want to slide those 6 back. So can I make a trade? Well, I can't really. I can only trade 2 right now because otherwise I'm going to run out. So I'm going to trade the 2. I'm going to slide these back again and convert them into a yellow. So I have 10 more to play with. Now I want to slide 4 back. So I'm going to slide 4 over this way. And this is where sometimes having the 2 different ones makes the difference. I need 4 yellows, not a problem. And I need 200s, again, not a problem. So then I can just read off my answer. So it's a really easy way for them to do it. And I can do all kinds of numbers again in the thousands. That's not going to change anything. And then it also gives us an opportunity to put zeros into those numbers so that we see how they react with those. And you'll notice that when I did this one, I didn't put the 0 in the same place. And one it's the hundreds and one it's the tens place. So that I can get a gauge of how they are going to react to those pieces. And again, I can still go up to the thousands, the 10,000s, because I have the 10,000. So if I wanted to build, I'll put these ones back. I wanted to build the number 14,250. Remember, don't say and. 14,000 means I need a 10,000 and a 4,000. So I need 1 10,000 and I need 4 1,000s. I need 200s, 50s, and no ones, because I have a 0. And then I was adding to that 8,000. So remember that your thousands are the whites. So I'm going to add 8,000s. I'm going to add 465. So 460 and 5. And now I'm going to go back and do the same thing I did before. I want my answers to be in the red down. So in this section, here's where my answer is going to be. So I'm just going to do the same thing. Do I have enough where I can trade? Do I have any ones that I need to move up top? No, I don't. Do I have any whites that I need to move up top? Yes, I do. I have 8 of them. So do I have 8 to trade? No, I have 6 to trade. So let's trade the 6 first. And now I need to go back because I still need some more. I'm going to trade it for a red. And I have 2 more that I want to trade. So again, that converting becomes pretty quick for them. I have 4 greens. Do I have 4 greens? Yes, I do. Do I have 6 yellows? No, I don't. So I'm going to trade what I have, 5. I'm going to go back, get another 100, and then I'll bring back my yellow again. So again, it makes it quite simple for them to work out. Oh, forgot my blues here. I got my 5 and my 5. There we go. So that's a nice way for them to maneuver it. And like I said, these are readily still available. And they're very doable. And for most of the kinds of numbers that we're going to be doing in our systems, 10,000 is more than enough. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to either one of your consortium members or email me. And I'd be glad to answer any questions that you have. Thanks so much.